So I'm going to switch gears. I was going to read on the spiritualness of November, but I want to get into the to look at feminine foreign policy. Okay. First card, spiritual for November, and then I'm looking into that feminine spiritual policy, foreign policy. I thought it was fascinating and sad at the same time. Okay, so for November, the card for spirituality, one card. Two cards. I don't know what it says. Shaman. Trust in higher forces. I should have looked at this first. I can't read it. Lady. There we go. Enjoy growth and reap rewards. Which is why I had to pull those two cards, because I'm going into lady. I'm going to be talking about feminine power and the shaman. So I love this card, obviously, for all what shamanism teaches us. And shamanism is all about the journey and healing. So when we do a journey, we go into that magical place where there is no politics, where there is no negativity, where there's only light. Light and abundance. So this card is suggesting, and I just heard the word imploring, that we go into that place of love and light in this month of November. And lady. This, enjoy growth and reap the rewards. So this is, and I look at the apples on the tree and I go, oh, it's Garden of Eden. And it goes, well, tell a different story. Tell the truthful story about what this means and about what these apples signify. It wasn't to put us into down a dark path at all. It was just the opposite. But it was the male controlling us of that story to keep us down. So I was also thinking today about the, because I got my Lakota Sweat Lodge cards, and I've been looking at that, and I got the yesterday night I got the Sweat Lodge card, and I go, okay, time for me to get quiet, time for me to go back into the womb of Mother Nature and to look at the four directions and to see where see where I can be better, where I can grow, where I can find abundance. And it talked about, I'm going to get this card wrong, but it talked about the old witch woman. It's not it. Old shaman woman or something mystical. And then I got a young woman who was white buffalo calf woman who brought forth the sacred pipe. The sacred pipe is to teach us how to pray. And again, it goes back to taking quiet time. Not being in the crazy news cycle. So let's look at, and specifically, I want to look at in Harris County in Texas, because there's an election coming up, if you didn't know. in 2018, there were 19 black female judges voted into office in Harris County. So they kind of changed the face of the judicial down in Harris County. I never knew this. From the Law Dragon article that I read, it said how 19 black women from Houston swept onto the bench and changed the face of justice. And they said, if the magic is the how of the 19, change is the why. And it's a tale that's still being written. On November 8th, we will learn if the next chapter is 19 steps forward and a few back, or if the black girl magic continues to uplift and transcend. At least in their current judicial posts, magic, as it always does, lives on no matter what happens. But to hold it and repeat it, you must believe. It's powerful. Magic lives on no matter what happens, but to hold it and repeat it, you must believe. So that took me down a little rabbit hole. Different than a squirrel hole. This is a good one. So Sweden was the first country to adopt an explicitly feminist foreign policy in 2015. 2015? Oh. Since then, it has sought to include new feminist concerns in its diplomatic choices, making commitments to ethical principles such as inclusion, security, cosmopolitanism. I meant to look that word up, but I didn't, so I don't know what that means, and gender. So I'm going along with all three of them, and I'll throw in cosmopolitanism, whatever that is. And so the first was Sweden, 2014, followed by Canada, France, Luxembourg, Mexico in 2020. Mexico's a macho country. Mexico? Spain? What's this world coming to? That was 2021. And then Libya. Now, I haven't researched any of this, so I'm just saying it's entertainment purposes only. So Finland, so it was kind of confusing to me. First was Sweden to adopt that foreign policy, but it was actually New Zealand that gave women voting rights in 1893. That was the first country. Women had voting rights in New Zealand in 1893, but not the right to be in Parliament until 2019. Okay, well that's still better than 2015. Finland, in 1909, all men and women had the right to vote and run for office. So before you could have women voting, you just couldn't have them running for office. Finland, now you can run for office. And then, so that happened in, I might have gotten my dates mixed up here. But anyway, the year after, the first female member of Parliament was elected. So we are moving into this. And I want to look at this in a couple of different ways. Let's just look at, before we get to Houston, let's just look at the new feminine energy that is coming in. It was slow getting going. It's slow now. But you can see by these dates, 2014, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 21, things are starting to ramp up for women in power, the new feminine energy. So let's just see what the ETs have to say about that. Contact cards. And when I tap into that ET energy, there is no male or female for me, but there is equality in it, and it's, let me rephrase that. There is no gender to it because there are both genders. There is male and female as one. That's the energy that I pick up with this. And that may be my blue pals that I'm picking up. So let's just see what is the ET energy about this new feminine foreign world power policy, shall we? Okay. So I'm going to just lay these out. And then let's see what we get. And as I lay them out, I do need my cheat sheets because I don't know these cards well enough. Card 1, Earth Goddess. Boom. Earth Goddess. Wasn't Earth God, Earth Goddess. There is, from what I get, the Earth Goddess is one of comfort. It's like a great big pillow that you can lay your head on. It's like a great big thorn in your side if you don't do things the right way. It's like, I'm not going to let you alone. I'm not going to let you keep going down this wrong path. I mean, my mama, she was wonderfully supportive, yet, you know, she wouldn't let me let my hair down. Let me just put it that way. She did. She did. Anyway, at the base of the reading, Maldek. And I'm going to double check this, but I'm pretty sure that this is like the Tower card. This is the Destruction card. And in this position, these are the this is what we're looking for. These are the conditions. And this is us, this Destruction card is destroying the old white man rule and bringing in a new Earth Goddess energy. All right, the third card, which is Messages from Our Guide. Nature, Earth and Moon. It goes back to Earth Goddess taking care of Mother Earth. So she is the great nature pillow, but we as its inhabitants need to fluff her up a little bit, you know? We need to take care of her. Oof. Okay, so the process with this is the black hole. The black hole. And that, so when we fall into that darkness, that sweat lodge energy, getting on all fours, crawling into the sweat lodge, humbly, being in darkness, examining the four directions. That's the process that this is telling us about. And the outcome, well, it seems that when I look at this comet, what I first got was it's going to come faster than we thought. When I look at my cheat sheet, it says signs and cycles. So we are in this cycle, and it's a destructive cycle of letting go of one, bringing in something new. Pay attention to the signs of this changing, which you can see in this news feed, and it's just cyclical. I mean, I haven't studied the history of it all that much, but it's time for a change. It's time to cycle that. Okay, so interesting reading. All right, yikes, an hour. As if you guys don't have anything better to do all day than to spend an hour with me. Thank you, but I should make these shorter. Or do part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. All right. Let's look at, what's my deck? I'm going to use the Rider-Waite. Let's look at Houston Judges, the magic down there. And again, I really haven't done a lot of research or homework on that. It just popped up. And so I thought, well, let's look at that magic down in Houston. The 12 black women who are now judges on the bench. The magic of Houston. On the judicial. You know that comment? That's what I'm seeing. Okay. Magic. The magic of the 19. Is it can continue. 3 cards. Magic. It should have a full spread, but I only have 2 minutes before an hour. The magic of the 19. Magic of the 19. Is it going to continue? Loss. Higher order. There is a blind. There's a hard choice that needs to be made. What is that decision? What is that? So I gotta pull more. What is that decision that needs to? Is that the voters? What's the decision? Magic of the 19. What is the 2 of Swords? It's emotional. 2 of Swords. 2 of Swords. I don't see them staying 19. So it's, hurts. So I got, this is the dark card. I'm not saying it's dark money. It certainly could be. The plan, and the guy, it looks like this guy has a cup in his hand, but it's not upright, so it's kind of spilling over. I got walking away from sorrow, walking away, 8 of Cups. And then I got rest. retreat. I don't like leaving it on that note. But I am. All right, I'm not. I am going to pull one more card. One more Angels and Ancestors card. So Angels and Ancestors. If my reading is right, and there is walking away, there is sorrow. What do we need to know about that? It goes back to the drum. It goes back to the journey, the belief in magic. This is just one journey. As we looked at with the ET cards, the feminine political strength is growing. So keep believing in that magic. Keep beating the drum. Keep the rhythm going. And with that, I'm going to leave you all. Peace and love.